Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie. I realize that I never say that in my videos and you guys are probably like, what is her name? If you are new here, I post at least 3 times a week. Today we're going to be doing a full face of first impressions. The first thing that I did do was moisturize, and I used this Sephora mattifying moisturizer sunscreen. It's SPF 20, and hopefully this focuses. I realized in my haul that my autofocus was off or something. I don't know what was going on, so hopefully that is not the case today. First time trying this today, and I really like it. It kind of reminds me of the Estee Edit Pore Vanishing Moisturizer. It just seems like it moisturized, but it did leave me feeling matte and not like greasy or like leave a film on my face. So I think I like it so far, but I can't really say if it does keep me matte or not. The primer I'm going to be using today is the Model's Own Face Base, and this is the mattifying version. I do have oily skin, so what I'm going to do today is just put the primer on half of my face. That primer does definitely feel very silicone-y. It feels quite slippery on the... Oh wait! It feels like it's starting to set. So when you first start spreading it in, it feels like it's going to be like slippy, slidey, and your makeup is going to slide around, but it feels like it is setting into the skin. So maybe this is just one of those that you want to just wait a couple minutes before you go and apply your foundation. The foundation that I'm going to use today is the Model's Own Runway Foundation, and this brand is new to Ulta. I have the shade Porcelain, I believe. I think I'll do one side with a sponge and one side with a brush. Okay, so let's get this product up here. Holy crap, a lot of it, it's just like squirting out, and I'm not even squeezing the bottle. Oh my gosh, look at it. What is going on? Hopefully it's not going to keep doing that. I left it sitting propped up and it's still like coming out. That's annoying. So it feels like it is a little thick. And I'm sure you could see, yeah, this is way too light. I'm sure you could see that I have quite a bit of acne and scarring and texture. So we shall see how this covers. And I'm gonna have to bronze the crap out of my skin. Oh Lord. So I definitely did not get full coverage. I'd say we're at light medium, transferring quite a bit so it doesn't set too quickly. All right, I'm gonna go on with my Real Technique sponge and do the left side of my face. Oh my gosh, I look like a freaking ghost. This is horrifying. So I do think that I got better coverage on the brush side than I did on the sponge side. So I think to build it up, I'm gonna just use the brush on both sides. It does seem like the product goes quite a ways. When you start blending it out, it like thins out quite a bit even when you're using a brush. It seems like that did build. The texture on my forehead is looking kind of emphasized. So I do not think this is a foundation that you're going to be able to get to full coverage, at least if you have quite a bit of redness and scarring and acne to cover like I do. The shade obviously is way off, and on camera I have my ring light on and it seems like there is some flashback happening because I look much whiter on camera than I do in real life. I mean, this is definitely too light for me, but on camera it's looking completely white. So keep that in mind. The next thing that we are going to try out is a concealer, and this is the Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer. And I have the lightest shade, which is Fair. There's only 3 shades of this, which is so crappy. I am going to have to go in with my purple concealer. The purple concealer that I'm going to use is the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Lavender Corrector. And I'm sure you're familiar with this concealer, but I have used this a couple times and I really love mixing this in with concealers that are too dark. It really helps to brighten the areas. I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge to blend that out. This foundation definitely is not setting. It still feels quite tacky, but I mean, that doesn't bother me because I always set my foundations with a powder. So just to test this concealer out and see if it really is full coverage, I'm going to go in and try to add some to my cheek area where I need a little bit more coverage. This foundation is settling pretty badly into my forehead lines. I don't really like the way the foundation is setting on my skin. Whoa, girl, be careful. Oh, yes, that gave me full coverage right there. So this concealer is full coverage. Okay, so let's go in and set all of this. I have the Model's Own Grand Finale Loose Powder, and this is said to be translucent. Oh my gosh, this powder looks really dark. Basically, if your skin tone does not match the color of this powder, it's not going to work for you because this is not translucent at all. I think it's going to work for me to set my face because it does seem to match my skin tone. But I definitely am not going to be able to go in my under eyes with this. Can you see the difference from here to here. This is where I set with the powder. And it seems like the more that I use, the darker it is. So to set my under eyes, I am going to have to go in with a different product that is not a first impression. This is just the Aesthetica Contour Palette. So even though that powder is definitely not translucent, I think I do like it. It kind of seems like it smoothed my skin out a little bit. This definitely can get heavy, so it may not be one to necessarily bake with. But to set your foundation, it may work well for you, but you're going to want to be right around my skin tone for that. So even though we have set our entire face with that loose powder, I do have a pressed powder to try, and this is by Gorgeous Cosmetics. This is their Powder Perfect pressed powder. I hope that this shade isn't too dark. This is what it looks like. It looks a little lighter on camera than it does in person, but oh, that kicks up lots of powder. So I'm just going to use that to set just the cheek areas. It does seem like it's a little dark. So I guess I like that powder. It does seem like it smoothed out some of the areas on my cheek where I have pitted scarring. I think my skin looks really nice right now. I mean, you can tell I have makeup on for sure, but I don't think that it looks too overly powdery for all the powder products that I've used. Okay, hopefully you guys can't hear my daughter crying. I just tried to lay her down for a nap and she has been fighting her naps lately, I tell you what. So now we're gonna do our brows. The brow pencil I'm gonna be using is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. I have never been able to get my brows on that easily over top of foundation and powder than I did just then with this. So I am really impressed. I am definitely going to be repurchasing this and probably getting a more cool tone shade, but definitely recommend that. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. I think now that the brows are on, we'll go in with one or both of these eyeshadow palettes, and these are both by Gorgeous Cosmetics as well. So these are the two quads that I have. I'm going to go in with the quad I had on the right, and I'm going to go in with this matte brown shade right here in my crease. And I'm going to do a pretty simple look today. Okay, this is blending out beautifully. So maybe to deepen things up, I'll go back into this quad and take this shade right here and focus that just on the outer edge of my eye. And I'm just going to pat that in the outer corner and then I'll blend it out. And I haven't gotten any fallout yet either. I'm just gonna blend this right into like the middle of my eye. I don't want to go into the inner corner though. And I'm just gonna keep building this until I get the desired look. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. I just really like the color of it, and I'm just gonna put that on the inner portion of my eyelid. So I'm just going to first go in with the shade that I started off with, this lighter brown, and plop that on the lower lash line. Next we can go on and start sculpting the face, and I'm going to be using the Fiona Styles Sheer Sculpting Palette, and this is in the shade light to medium. And I said this in my haul, but these shades are fabulous for lighter skin tones. Like if you have fair skin, this is going to work wonderfully for you. They're nice and buildable, like they're not super overly pigmented, which obviously it's called the Sheer Sculpting Palette, so that makes a lot of sense. So this is just really nice for beginners, for people who have pale skin, and then if you do have deeper skin, there is another shade for deeper skin. I don't know how deep that goes. I've never seen it or anything. I really love it so far. So I'm going to go in with that lightest shade. And you can see with that light shade, it's just the perfect tone to literally look like a shadow, which is what you want when you're contouring. Now I'm going to go in with a mixture of the two darker shades in this palette, and I'm going to kind of bronze with those. What do we want to do now? All right, so we're going to go in with blush, and this product I obviously have never tried. This is by Gorgeous Cosmetics as well, and it is their 8-pan palette everyday blush shades, and it is so pretty. I think I'll go in with this shade and maybe mix in a little bit of this shade. I actually don't wear a lot of coral blue. Okay, wow, that is so pigmented. Holy crap. So the mascara that we're going to use today is the Miraness Australia Instant Lash Transplant 24-Hour Extensions Mascara. So this is like a dual-ended deal, and the idea is that there is the primer or mascara on one end and fibers on the other. And these are actually black fibers. I have so many stray hairs. Oh my gosh, this is not a good look for me. And I have tried a couple of these like two-step fiber lash systems, and I really like them. I was using the Younique one for a long time, but I realized that it was like literally ruining my lashes. Somehow I was like losing my lashes. So now you can see I'm going in with the fibers, and I'm trying to work quite quickly because you don't want that primer or mascara to set before you go in with the fibers, because obviously you want it to be wet so the fibers stick to the lash. And then what you do is go back in with another layer of the mascara so you can set those fibers into place. Alright, so I am pretty impressed right now, I'll be honest. So if you've tried any of their stuff, definitely let me know down below. So when I use these two-step systems, I typically do go in with a regular mascara over top of it, just because I feel like it helps give me a little bit more volume, because typically these are for just lengthening your lashes, and it seems like that's what this did. So now we're just gonna go in with a layer of mascara alone, so that you can maybe see the difference in what that Miraness product just did. I definitely feel like I got a little more length out of this eye, and this is the eye that I used the Miraness stuff. And I do feel like I have a little more volume on these lashes than I do on these. This isn't one for volume, I don't think. So, but I have very thin lashes, and I'm sorry if you could hear that car just drive by. That same car is always revving it past my house, and I'm like, you are not cool, just stop. I don't mind this mascara at all. I actually am very picky about mascaras, and I like this. The Rimmel mascaras are really good. The Rimmel Scandalize in the orange tube is so good. That's like been one of my favorite mascaras for a really long time. So I would recommend that one if you're looking for a good drugstore. What? If you're looking for a good drugstore mascara. The next thing we're going to use is the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow Highlighter Powder, and this is in Peach Pearl. There are two different shades of this, and this is the lighter one. I am just using my Morphe M510. I always say M510. I think I'm just going to apply this on one side of my face. The next video that I'm filming is super exciting, and I need like a cheek with no highlight on so I can like demonstrate the highlight that I'm going to be using. So just to show you guys, I'm going to use this on one side. Oh, that looks really pretty. To me right now is looking like a very natural highlight that is going to be very buildable. Alright, so this last product that we're going to use, I'm so excited. This is the Real Her Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Lady Love. This packaging is absolutely stunning. I love the simplicity and the black and white, and it says I will succeed on this side. I got this in a BoxyCharm, actually the most recent BoxyCharm. So initially this does feel pretty liquidy, but it's very pigmented. It is very easy to apply. I really like almost how thin it is. It does seem like if you layer it after it has dried, which it does dry pretty quickly, it can get sticky. I do feel like I would benefit from maybe like a white eyeliner. I'm gonna go look for one because I know I have one that I haven't used before. This is the Wet n Wild On Edge Long Wearing Eye Pencil, and this is in the shade A262 To My Yang. I really like that. We'll have to see how it lasts throughout the day. So this is the Too Cool for School Perfect Day Makeup Fixer. And I did haul this in my last video. And this is in an aerosol can. I'm kind of scared. That sprays out in such a nice, fine mist. Like, I was expecting that to be like really powerful and just like kind of shoot out like a hairspray or something. But the mist is very wide and it's very fine. Like, it hits every part of your face equally. I love this sprayer. So I don't know if I'm just crazy, but I do think that I see a difference in this side and this side of my face. Remember, this side I used the primer on and this side I didn't. I feel like I am more matte on this side. I already look like I've kind of started to get a little oily here. Like, it's starting to look a little cakey around this area compared to the other side. I'm kind of shocked that I already am seeing my oils peeking through on this side, and I don't like how cakey it looks. So this maybe is a foundation that you like definitely want to use a primer with. I'm having some settling in my forehead lines, you can see right here. I definitely look like I have quite a bit of makeup on. I mean, my skin from afar looks really, really nice, like in all lighting. Like I was looking in different mirrors throughout my house and I really thought my skin looked really nice and smooth. But you could see when I got closer that it is looking cakey already around this area. So like I said, could be a combination of the foundation and the powder or one or the other. I will have to play around with it a little more. But I mean, overall, as a first impressions, I'm pretty impressed with everything. I will go over everything. We talked about the foundation and the powder. Obviously not sure about those yet. The primer seems like it is working because I do look more matte on the side that I use it on. Concealer, I really like. It is too dark for me as far as like brightening my under eye. The coverage is great. Obviously I use this under my eyes. It's not a first impressions, but I totally recommend this. I've had this in a lot of my videos because it's so good. I actually did a video comparing this to the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and I like this one better, and it's half the price. So I'll link that up here if you want to check that out. And oh, the pressed powder that I use, I really think I like this. It seemed to kind of smooth out, like I said, the pitted areas on my cheeks. So I'll have to keep trying that and see what I think. And then the blushes, super, super good, super pigmented, and I am very impressed with them. I love these quads. They are so good. They blended beautifully. I used mostly matte shades. I'll have to use those shimmery shades in a future video, but maybe we'll do a little swatch. So I'm swatching this one here, and it definitely kicked up quite a bit of powder there when I was swatching that. You guys are getting the first look because I can't even see it right now. Hopefully it's focusing. Now we're going in with this brown shade here. There it is on the finger. These are swatching pretty sheer. I don't think they're meant to be like bam in your face. Oh, I will swatch this black for you in this other palette. Here it is swatched on the arm. It doesn't seem like it is extremely black, as you can see, like it's almost kind of gray, but maybe it builds. And then we'll swatch this gold shade here. I'm not super impressed with how powdery these shimmer shades are, to be honest, but you know, we'll have to just see how they apply on the eye. Oh, that applied really nice. I really, really like this. That has to be my favorite shimmery one that we have swatched so far. I definitely will be using that in the future. It's not metallic or anything, but it does have more of a sheen than any of the other shimmery ones do. Sponges I used, I love both of these. I'll have them linked down below. These are great sponges. The setting spray doesn't feel sticky. The packaging is really cool. The sprayer, it's different, it's innovative. I'm really intrigued by this brand. So it is 7 o'clock. I think I applied my makeup at 2 o'clock. It's been 5 hours, and I'm definitely oily. Can you see that? This is probably the only check-in that I'm going to do because I already like know how I feel about the products that I didn't already recommend. For me, using a mattifying moisturizer, a mattifying primer, and a mattifying foundation, I am not matte. I have been matte for far longer with a couple other products that I've been trying. I did only apply the primer to this side, and I like seriously kind of feel like I'm more oily on the side that I use the primer. I don't think I would recommend the foundation or the primer, to be honest. Especially the primer. That loose powder, I also don't think I recommend because it's not translucent. That's a lie. You saw earlier when I was applying it that it was darker than, darker than the foundation. It pretty much matched my skin tone, so I mean that kind of worked out for me. But other than that, I mean, I think a lot of the other products that I used were a hit. Obviously, the eyebrow pencil was a definite hit. This is the lipstick that I had on earlier. I'm still wearing it. I ended up keeping it on. So yeah, I mean, the lipstick is lasting pretty well. That's going to be it. I'm running out of storage here because I just spent like an hour recording a video about highlighters. But that's going to wrap everything up, you guys. If you have any other questions about any of these products, please leave me a comment down below. I will definitely respond and let you know what I thought. So I hope to see you guys in my next video. Make sure that you thumbs up this video and subscribe. Tap that little bell if you want to be notified when I post videos. And I hope to see you soon. Love you guys. Bye.